on here, and this is how I start my pre-practice with. Every day we go out 15 minutes early of practice, and we'll start with the quarterbacks that I have. If I have 4 or 6, that's great. If you only have 2 because they went away in games, we do the same stuff every day. Okay? And the passing progression is this, and I guess, do y'all want to see the mechanics at all? Because I don't have that film. Do you want to see the mechanics? Like how to throw? Anybody? Yes? Coach? Okay. I didn't film any of that stuff because I was just like, hey, everybody's going to see Coach Trick and all that good stuff, but we can do that. Okay. Again, I didn't film it, so I'm sorry you can't see it up close, but here. Hold on to the football. I got a thumb below the white on this side and my pointer fingers towards the top of the football. Okay? That's your proper grip. Then, I always put my middle finger on the very top of the laces. Okay? And I skip a hold, and then wherever your ring finger and your pinky land, I kind of let them land wherever they land. Okay? I always want to have a little space between your hand and the football, so on and so forth. Okay, that's your grip. Now, after I do and get kids with the grip, we'll flip it up and flip it down, grab it, and do that a whole bunch of times. This is all football camp stuff. So we do a camp all the time. We get into here, now we get into our load position. Load position, I like the tip of the football at your shoulder, left hand, bottom of the football for total control of that thing. There are guys that do this stuff. I guess I just got to say, like everybody else has said before, do whatever you got to do. Okay, get it done. But we're loading right here. We're always in this position. About 90-degree angle here, 90 here, and we're solid. Loaded position. Now you can run, do all kinds of stuff with it. Your drops, you're here. Tip of the ball stays at the top of your shoulder. Okay? Now, the second movement, when we do this, when I drill it, I'll go, okay, get a grip, and then I'll just load. And kids will be like this, and they'll hold it. Okay? Drop it down, flip it, load. And we do this and just rep. And then you can tell them, hey, do this in front of the mirror at home. Watch yourself do this hundreds of times. Okay? After that, when you're in loaded position, then I do this separation. I used to call it point back, all this stuff, but it's separation for me now. Okay? So I'm here, and I'm getting ready to throw, and I'm going to step and separate. Back to loaded, step and separate. Notice how the ball stays on the plane. It's about a little bit at an angle. It's not totally straight back. You'll see some guys like this. What was that? John Unitas? You know that football card? But this one, about in here, I don't know, from 90, it's probably a 30-degree angle. So I get it, separate. Separate. All right? After separation now, we're load, separate. Then I step and I call it high release. So I'm here, I load, separate, and then I rip my left arm through, rip, and I go to high release. If you're looking at me now, separate, and I rip, chest at target, and I'm high release over my head. Okay? This has got to be elbow at the ear is what I kind of say, landmark. Elbow at the ear. So I'm loaded, I step, separate, and I go high release, elbow at the ear. Okay? Now the ball's coming forward in this motion, and I come through, and when I release, I'm pushing the ball off, thumb goes down, and flick the booger, say that stuff, okay? So we're load, separate, high release, and as I throw coming forward, high release, fingers the last thing that touches the football, okay? A little bit of throwing mechanics. And we go through that in little kids camps over and over again, and I probably should add to my video because I told you not a very good video. But I can add all that stuff in, but if you send kids to quarterback camps, I guess those are what you're going to see. And if you do see that, you're on the right track. Now, you're going to have all kinds of kids throwing all kinds of different ways. So I just make sure that you're loaded, I go separate, and I got, the kids that come to my little youth football camp I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the summer. Every kid, the linemen love to throw football. Big kids love to learn how to throw football. I want them, I tell them that I want you to grow up to be a dad that can teach your kid how to throw football. Okay, that's my goal. So we load, high release, separate, high release, get up over the head, and throw. You're going to get kids doing this stuff. You're going to, behind the head is a big one where they come over the top. A lot of different throws you see. Okay? Try to keep it out over the side so you can see the football. All right. The passing progression. Now, all that stuff I just kind of went through really quickly. Bad teaching. Right knee, left knee, both knees. Those are things that I'll show you here in a little bit on the film, but it's all to warm up. We do this before games. Our quarterbacks get out at midfield, and as everybody else is doing their ball drills before game starts, we're doing this. Okay, so it's over and over and over and over again. They get it over and over and over. Then we have the next step is you'll throw up on your toes, and I'll try to hammer through this as we go through the video. I'll slow it and I'll talk about it. But then right leg forward, left leg forward, right shoulder. This is all on your list. Let's get into video, because I don't know what I got for time right at 1 o'clock. Okay, come on, baby.
You got till 1:15, Denny.
Okay, thank you. Is the next one going to be my video or not? Let's check this video. Yes, it works. All right. Here's our, oh my God, how do we see better, guys?
I'll turn the lights off here.
Okay. Ooh, moonlights. There. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, wish you could see better, but here's the progression. So I think we already switched to left knee. I get about 7 yards apart, have the kids get about 7 yards apart, and then we'll take, I don't know, we take 5 throws, 2 throws, depending on how quick we have to be going. So you see the kids, they're getting in loaded position, ball up high. And here's now the double knees, balls up high over the top, follow through, hit yourself in the thigh. Follow through, hit yourself in the thigh. Over the top. 2 other kids are, one's a tight end and one was a D-back last year, but they were hanging around so I got them to be in a video. They're happy as heck. And then we go into the next step of the progression. Oh, looks like I gotta hit fast forward, huh? Next clip. Okay. Now we get, after that, after you're on your knees, we go back to about 10 yards apart. And then we're going both feet solid together. Get up on your toes, and then step through a little bit. Okay? Up on your toes, step through a little bit. Try to keep your feet solid, no movement in your feet until you step through. The kid on the left is, he's the one that played for us this year. The kid on the right will hopefully be our kid next year. You'll see the difference when they start doing drops. Kid on the left is a pretty good athlete, just that they gun and he didn't want to get beat up. Now we go to right leg forward. You just get yourself straddled. Right leg forward, don't move. Totally moving to turning your hips, shoulders back, come through, follow through, all the stuff that we just did. One back over the top. And the progression is all there in your paper, so this is just boring stuff to look through, but you can do it. Now I just turn the shoulders at your target. Same thing, keep 10 yards apart. Kind of a weird throw, but sometimes you have to make awkward throws. Pretty decent throws over the top. Now this one I call passing with purpose. So what the kids are doing here is they're getting happy feet, and then the other partner is going to flash his hands in different placement spots that he wants the kid to throw the ball to. So if he throws it out, he puts his hands out wide to the left, try to hit the spot on the left. Always keep a pinpoint with your nose on the hands, and try to hit that kid right in his, where he wants you to place it. Up high, down low, outside, whatever you want to do. But you're chopping your feet. As soon as you flash, that's when you load, coil, separate, and throw as quick as you can, step through. All stuff that you just keep doing over and over and over again until someday they get to be a senior and they can play for you, hopefully. At least I would love all seniors to be quarterbacks, but we know that doesn't happen either, does it? And now this one is called a movement in the pocket drill. You're still getting happy feet, pass with purpose. But we'll always move with the back foot when you're trying to get kids to move in the pocket away from defenders. Okay, you're always moving the back foot, so you always got a plant foot. So move to the right, and then we'll throw. Okay? Just little things. I guess I should be able to send all this stuff to you in Huddle, right? If y'all were any remotely interested in it, I can do that stuff too. And now this one is the throwing on the run. I guess we got into a little bit of a sprint package last year where we used throwing on the run a lot more than we have in the past. So you just kind of, with your partner, you're going at them, make sure you're moving, get loaded, throw over the top of your opposite foot, or your throwing arm foot is where you're going to be throwing the ball out when you throw on the run. And then right away into this, we'll turn, go backwards, and then drop and dip over a shoulder, and still continue to throw on the run. The other kid gives ground. We had a heck of a time. We didn't have a wide-angle lens, coaches. So that's why they're not moving very far. Okay? So when you're out on the field and you're before practice, you got a lot of room to move. We'll start throwing the ball, you know, at 10 yards, and then get them to separate 10, 15, 20, and so on and so forth. So you work on arm strength and things like that. Okay? And then a little circle drill. Just get kids 5 to 7 yards apart. Run a circle clockwise, counterclockwise, keeping the ball up high, and throwing on the run.